Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Gabriel Mann. I'm the communications manager for NARAL Pro-Choice Ohio. I've attended every event, committee hearing, and floor vote for the heartbeat bill since it was first introduced in 2011. Let me speak with authority when I say that this bill is a stunt. A 6-week abortion ban is unconstitutional. Under Roe v. Wade, as reaffirmed in Planned Parenthood v. Casey, a woman has the right to end her pregnancy prior to viability, which the court has said is reached when, in the judgment of the attending physician on the particular facts of the case before him or her, there is a reasonable likelihood of the fetus's sustained survival outside the womb with or without artificial support. In Casey, the court confirmed that viability marks the earliest point at which the state's interest is constitutionally adequate to justify a legislative ban on non-therapeutic abortions. The bottom line, only after the point of viability may states ban abortion. And Ohio did that in 2011. A witness opposed to a previous version of the bill said, "Let's not allow emotion to blind us from reality, and let's make sure we do not do more harm than good." The argument that we need to give the court the opportunity to change their minds will likely backfire. When handing something to the court to decide, the makeup of the United States Supreme Court matters. Currently, we have a pro-abortion Supreme Court, which is 5 votes to 4 votes, and possibly 6 votes to 3 votes. If the heartbeat bill were to pass in its current form and made it in front of the Supreme Court, which we don't think it will, neither Justice Scalia or Thomas will write the pro-life majority opinion because they are the minority. Justice Ginsburg will probably write the majority opinion. She believes abortion is an equal rights issue. She believes in abortion on demand, and with the inclusion of Justices Kagan and Sotomayor, President Obama's appointees, Ginsburg's decision would withstand any attempts to water it down. That is an excerpt of 2011 testimony from Stephanie Kreider of the Ohio Right to Life in opposition to this bill. Last week, Representative Hood mentioned passage of 6-week bans in Arkansas and North Dakota, but then neglected to say that both states had those bans overturned by courts. Representative Hagan shared her opinion about the expression safe, legal, and rare. This legislation will make abortion illegal, which makes it unsafe, but would not make it rare. Abortions performed by skilled physicians in professional medical facilities have a lower risk to women's health than many comparable procedures and childbirth. Making abortion illegal forces women to seek out unsafe alternatives, especially low-income women who cannot afford to travel to other states. Representative Hagan referenced Kermit Gosnell. Gosnell operated outside both legal and medical professional standards. A 6-week abortion ban does not prevent more tragedies like Gosnell, it creates them. House Bill 69 contains no measures to prevent unintended pregnancies. Legislation had been introduced years ago, been proposed to enforce the availability of emergency contraception in emergency rooms. Hospitals are not currently required to provide emergency contraception to rape victims or women who experience a contraception failure like a broken condom. Ohio schools are not required to provide a comprehensive sex education curriculum, including lessons on contraception, which is proven to reduce sexual activity among teens. Here are 2 proven opportunities to reduce the number of abortions sought in Ohio, and this legislation ignores them. Representative Hagan brought up the so-called War on Women. The budget proposed by Governor John Kasich would eliminate key Medicaid optional programs for women above 138% of the federal poverty level. Included are a program to provide family planning coverage, a breast and cervical cancer program, and a program that covers pregnant women. All 3 programs currently cover participants to 200% of FPL. If we fix that coverage gap, you've got another solution to prevent abortions. Language used by 6-week bans attempt to emphasize the presence of a detectable heartbeat as a point of some importance. During a previous Senate hearing on the 6-week ban bill, I testified about my own experience during the end of my father's life. After a failed bone marrow transplant, we were advised by doctors that he could not be saved. As they informed me that he was brain dead, I looked at his monitor and watched a strong heartbeat. Despite an artificial source of dopamine that kept his blood pumping, the drugs fighting cancer had destroyed his liver and poisoned his brain. A heartbeat is not a complete indicator of the body's ability to survive. Questions about when life begins are personal, and it's just not that simple. For some, it's based on faith. For others, it's a matter of science or medicine. While Representative Hagan expressed her belief about the importance of conception, a fertilized egg will fail without implantation. As we've recently heard, members of the Jewish faith believe that life begins with the first breath. In the absence of universal agreement on this point, the Supreme Court used fetal viability as their standard. House Bill 69 does nothing to provide clarity on the idea of the beginning of life, and it also works against the established legal standard for abortion law. Lawmakers should not be involved in the woman's personal medical decisions about her pregnancy. During every hearing of the House Health Committee, former Representative Carney asked each proponent which medical professionals they had discussed the bill with. No one in support of the 6-week ban had sought out a physician. On the House floor, Representative Carney asked Representative Hagan this question. Her reply, we heard echoed last week, was that my door is always open. Bill sponsors have neglected the voices of physicians who oppose this bill out of concern for their patients. Opposed to this bill are the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, Tom Niehaus, Keith Faber, and the House voted this exact bill down just 61 days ago. Can anyone here name any other bill that's been brought to a vote on the floor that failed? Abortion is a deeply personal and often complex decision for a woman. You can't make that decision for someone else. Ultimately, decisions about whether to choose adoption, end a pregnancy, or raise a child must be left to a woman, her family, and her faith with the counsel of her doctor or healthcare provider. This bill is bad politics, and it is bad policy. I urge the committee to table House Bill 69